Hey y'all, welcome to the channel or welcome back. I am going to get right into today's video. Today is actually Tuesday, April the 6th, but by the time you are seeing this, it will be Wednesday, April the 7th. It is a little bit after 9 p.m. on April the 6th. And I just want to let you know that I do feel like this is what we'll be seeing more and more throughout the year of 2025. So let's get right into it.
New tonight, 550 people are searching for a new job after a plywood plant suddenly shut down on Friday. Georgia Pacific announced the Emporia plywood mill would end normal operations effective immediately after more than 50 years in operation. 8 News reporter Sahara Sriraman has been following this all day and brings us the latest.
The word I heard over and over from workers today, blindsided. Employees say rumors of a shutdown were floating around last week, but they didn't get confirmation until Friday, when Georgia Pacific executives flew in and gathered the entire staff to announce the news in person.
It was kind of like, wow, we declined other jobs to go here, and it was upsetting, it was disappointing, and to see everybody out there in tears, like they have families.
For decades, the Emporia plywood plant has been a staple here, employing generations of local families. Now it's gone.
A lot of managers move their families down here from miles away, and it costs thousands of dollars to move people to travel.
LaShonda Hinton was responsible for final product inspections on the line. She says even management was left in the dark. I sat down with her to get her side of the story. So the vice president sent this to the plant manager, and the plant manager just put it on the board, and that's how you guys found out?
Yes, they put it on the board. No, we didn't have any email.
She says they got just 48 hours notice. Some managers only an hour more.
We had a conversation with the managers, like, what's going on? They was out of it too, as if they didn't know anything.
Georgia Pacific claiming the decision came down to, quote, housing affordability challenges, a 30-year low in existing home sales, and that they're reducing production to match demand. But employees tell us a different story. So they said you weren't making enough sales.
Yeah.
That's why they're shutting it.
That's what they said. It wasn't selling.
But Hampton says they were selling out of inventory, even hiring new staff just weeks ago. Now she and hundreds of others are scrambling to find new jobs with very little time.
I wish they would communicate it with us better so we could have been prepared for a layoff. We can go to work one day and the next day you go to work and you don't have a job and there's nothing you can do about it.
So you guys just saw all that. So there is a lot happening. As you just heard, Boar's Head also just shut down. And I think that was last year. If I'm not mistaken, that was during like the Boar's Head recall. So this is a town that seems like a relatively smaller town where there's not a lot of opportunities for, work and good paying jobs at that. And then you have these two, plants that shut down, essentially leaving a lot of people without a job.
Spell your name for me if you would.
Timothy Squire, Timothy Squire.
You'll just look at me. Timothy, how you feeling right now?
Right now, man, I'm feeling a little disappointed, actually, because a lot of people depended on this job, and we know that we had people that was doing wrong in here, and they're taking a toll on the good guys that, that was working here, man. You had hard workers, you had some guys that didn't work so hard, and
it was just no accountability.
Yeah, it's no accountability.
There's no accountability, and that's why this mill is shut down.
What's your name? Can I get you to spell your name?
My name is Brandon Brown. It's Brandon, Brown, like the color brown.
Brandon, if you'll just look at me while you're talking, how long you work here, Brandon?
I've worked here 3.5 years, and I like my job. I like the job.
Yeah.
There just wasn't no accountability. There was a bunch of young folks here. It's very heartfelt because I feel bad for the city of Emporia. I really do, because it's going to crush Emporia.
What was your reaction to what went down today?
It was bittersweet. I mean, in a way I'm kind of glad, and then in a way it's very unsettling. It's very unsettling because I have 5 young kids at home. This was kind of a spur in the moment type of thing that is spring.
You like your job?
Yeah, I mean, I do like being a millwright. I do. I had problems with the management. That's about it. But as far as my job, I love my job. Yes.
Appreciate it. You, sir, how are you feeling?
I'm all right.
Mind saying and spell your name?
Jason Pollard, Jasonpollick.
What'd you do here?
I was millwright. What else was it?
Me and him were on call guys for the shift.
Gotcha. So if you would kind of explain to me like what happened. You showed up today for this 11 o'clock meeting, or were you already at work?
We found out yesterday. They found out yesterday, told everybody, shut the boiler down, everything. We knew it right then yesterday.
What's your reaction?
It's going to cripple this town. You just lost Boar's Head, you lost GP.
Yeah.
Ain't going to be nothing left here.
How do you feel about all your coworkers and?
But the coworkers, I feel bad. People that worked here their whole lives about to lose their retirement and everything else. Like that's a big thing.
Money is really going to be tight for these families for the near future, and it sounds like a lot of them may not have a whole lot of other options that would be suitable for them. So everybody appeared to be blindsided by this. Most definitely the employees. You had some of the managers that were blindsided as well. So it seems like the only people that were aware that this was happening were the CEOs and like the higher up people, which is really just unfortunate because that's the least you can do. Like, granted, they're going to pay them for the next 60 days, but I feel like that's like the bare minimum, especially with the way that everything is going right now. Everybody knows that tariffs, like what's going on with the tariffs, everybody knows that the prices at the grocery store are inflated and have been for several years. People know that people are struggling and living paycheck to paycheck, just in general. So to add this unexpectedly is just not good. And I don't want to be that person, but we know what happened in Lahaina. We know what has happened in Western North Carolina, and I feel like I don't want to be like a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but when it comes to land and some of the things that people try to do that have money, I mean, who knows, what will happen, like I feel like nothing's off the table is what I'm trying to say. So I pulled up some facts about this town. So they do have problems with violent crimes in this town, and it looks like Ceasefire Virginia is working to address that problem. There have been economic challenges as well, obviously with Georgia Pacific, and then with Forest Head, and I'm sure there are other companies as well that have this issue. Teacher pay discrepancy, which is kind of like across the board. School teachers are very underpaid for what they do and what they have to put up with. Being quite honest. It looks like water quality protection, so that's one of the main priorities in this community. Food insecurity, so Emporia, like many rural areas, face issues with food insecurity. So now we're going to throw in the food security issues with people that are losing jobs. So food banks are going to be overwhelmed if they even have the food, and people are just going to be struggling. It's just something that we're going to be seeing continuously. You don't know when it can happen to you, and this is why we want to prep, and this is why we want to stockpile. Yes, like tariffs are causing a lot of people to panic, buy, and stockpile, but this is why we prep. We want to get as much as we can at a reasonable price, at a reasonable pace for our families, so that in case of a job loss, people have doubts about prepping, but this is one of the reasons, because you do have that nice stockpile, and if you're able to get enough, you might be able to have 6 months worth of food, which can save you in an instance like this. This is one less thing that you have to worry about should you lose your job, especially unexpectedly, because nowadays, who knows what will happen. You'll walk in your job tomorrow and be let go the same day. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if this affects you or anybody that you know, and what you're doing to make sure that you have some food security for your family and the items that your household needs. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, you guys. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.